Okay, we are live. And I'll figure out how to splice this all together later on when I get home.
Okay.
But we're talking about leisurely drives. I was telling Gmo that I actually take more leisurely drives now than I did when I lived in LA. What were you saying after that, Gmo?
I was mentioning that at least here we don't get stuck in traffic all the time. Like in LA, it's kind of like you feel like, oh, do I really want to go out to sit in traffic? So it doesn't really become a leisurely drive when it's like that.
Yeah, and I have to say, I don't know if it's that different. I think it is. I don't want to disparage LA. It's a nice place. It's just that I feel like here it's more scenic beauty. And when I do a leisurely drive, I've got mountains, I've got clouds, and I've got that in and out sort of. It'll be sunny at one point and super beautiful, and then another point it might be raining on me if I go, especially to North Shore.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that contrast that you get almost right away when you're traveling around here or just driving. I don't know, just a totally different feel. I think it's just lack of traffic in general, and just you feel free just to go wherever you feel like. So I think if I was going to get a motorcycle, I think this is the place to do it.
Yeah, plus drivers are less aggressive over here.
Oh yeah. But I would say it depends because during rush hour, which actually only lasts an hour here, I feel like traffic. Yeah, you're right. It is a total different vibe. People are actually nice to each other on the roads.
Like I don't get cut off nearly as much.
Yep.
Like in LA, like I got into the bad habit of actually not using my turn signals, because once I used my turn signals, it was kind of like, oh, it's a sign for the other guy. Oh, he's gonna merge into my lane, so I better rush, cut him off so he doesn't merge into my lane.
Yep, because that's what they do in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, kind of like I'm gonna have to sneak in then. So sometimes I would not use my signals on purpose just so I can get the chance to do that.
And I think that's the real reason why people in LA don't use their signals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because they're being overtly rude. It's because they know that the other person is going to use that to take advantage of you, which is kind of sad when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little sad, but that's the way it is. It's just life in a super big city, though. I feel like here it's a lot smaller, so people get to know each other a little bit better. And that guy you cut off might remember you when you go to another restaurant or something.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of interesting. That I had a couple employers here tell me that, oh, here you eventually know somebody who knows somebody else. It's hard to like be anonymous because people will find out
Oh yeah,
about things. So reputation is kind of important.
I would say that probably goes double for dating. You can't just do what you do in LA, which is, date around and tomcat and just F around, because eventually they're going to find out. Oh wow, man, the truck is making a lot of noise.
Even though it's empty now.
It's actually making more noise now than when there was nothing in it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's why we weren't filming earlier on, because when we drove the truck like we are now, without stuff, it was super noisy. It's hard to hear. And now that when we had stuff in it, we were able to film, and it just that irony that happens.
So interesting.
Yeah, little life.
Oh, check that out. It says, learn wrestling. Coach Sean Kim, Hawaii Judo Academy.
Trying to zoom in on that. I don't think I see it. I see Okamoto, La Chica.
Oh, between that.
Oh, maybe it's right there, and I'm still blind, even though I have glasses. That's terrible.
And then there's the other sign, the one that's second from the left, like the one above the Kuling Hawaii sign. Judo and Jiu-Jitsu classes at the Hawaii Judo Academy.
I think it might be blocked a little. pass by it so everyone gets a chance to see. Oh, it's gone now. Yeah, I zoomed in on it, so I think all the signs were fairly visible. If they're not, we can edit. Or not. We'll be back. That's the great part about this, is there's no limit to what we can do, or where we can go, or the things we can talk about.
Exactly. We can just talk about what we feel like.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. Yeah, this place is just... I was just surprised when I got here. How big the island is, and also how small it can be.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff packed in here. It's got a lot of nature packed in. It's got a lot of city packed in, but it's not too much.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's close enough to the city to have all the amenities of a regular city, but then you'll be on a hiking trail in the middle of nowhere all of a sudden, which I think is really sort of awesome. Mm-hmm. I think that it's the closest thing to city and nature as we'll probably get.
And then with the mountains, with the sea, I guess you cannot see the sea from here, but it's there. It's actually nearby.
Well, I feel like in Hawaii, the city's usually just 30 minutes away from everything.
Yeah.
Like minimum. Not that it, because people love surfing and stuff over here, and they love taking beach days. Whether it's just for fun on the weekends or just for when high tide is there, people will just stop working and they'll start going to the beach. I think that's interesting.
Oh, we arrived at Pearl Harbor.
Boom.
Oh, and look at the trains.
Yeah, did they finish the train to nowhere yet? I don't think so.
No.
That has been one of the biggest, what do you call it, boogaloo, boondoggle? I'm never sure.
If I recall correctly, the trains were supposed to start running from Kapolei to Aiapo, but so far they haven't started, which is kind of expected. It's going to be stretched out as much as possible.
Well, so explain to the audience about the train, because when I got here, a lot of people were complaining about the train, and whenever I mentioned taxes, about my paycheck, and what was going to my paycheck at work, the folks at work, they said never mention the train because we'll go off on that for, we can go off on that for an hour or two, just talk about how much we hate it.
So one of the things that happened a few years back was that they said, oh, there's a lot of traffic in Honolulu now. To get from the Kapolei side to Honolulu, there's basically only one road, the H1, which is the one that we're on right now. So in the morning, all the people who live in Kapolei, Waipahu, Pearl City, maybe 92, kind of, if we go into Honolulu, we have to take the H1. So, right here. Not too much traffic right now because it's a nice Sunday. But, like weekdays in the morning, yeah, this gets pretty congested. So what they were saying was like, hey, to help alleviate traffic, let's make a train to run basically parallel to the H1. And that way, we also end up being a little bit more green because we don't want too many cars on the road. So they started to plan, and they put in the budget of how much would it cost to build the train. And the plan said, oh, it's going to cost $3 billion. And I put, oh, how are we going to pay for it? So they implemented this thing called the GE tax, General Excise Tax, which is about, used pretty much like a sales tax. And businesses and consumers pay about 4.5% throughout the state. Here in Honolulu, it's 4.712, so like every county pays a little bit different. So 4.712% on your sales. And I believe it was supposed to finish in 2018, the tax. But things have gotten delayed, expanded, they had to go over budget. And last I heard that the budget was right now at $12 million. So basically it has quadrupled.
Wow. And that's made the locals none too happy.
Not too happy because basically the general excise taxes has become like an indefinite tax. So it was supposed to finish that they had to extend it. Well, how are you going to roll it back? Because if you keep moving the goalpost, things could get ruined. And what they're also doing with the projections is they're trying to figure out how many people we're going to have ride the train, how much they're going to pay. So how much will that repay and make the train profitable again? And now that the budget has quadrupled, that means that the return on investment has been cut. So it's making the calculations really difficult, making people really upset. Also, the place where the train stations are going to be, they're not well defined yet. So they're trying to make it go all the way to Manoa.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and if they could do that, that'll be great. But they started in Kapolei and they've been building into Honolulu. In my opinion, they should have done it the other way around.
Yep. If they're going to do it, because I think you came up with a really good idea that would have saved all this money and been probably a third of the cost of the original estimate, which is just make a ferry and have it just go around, and you can use that for both tourism and for local people, both.
Funny thing is, I actually looked it up. They used to have a ferry that used to go from around Eva Beach to Honolulu.
Oh wow, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, but I guess it went out of business a little while back.
But was it tax funded, or was it just a local business or someone locally doing that as their job?
I think it was tax funded because I think it was part of the bus.
Because I think if you did it tax funded and just put the same effort that they're putting into the train and put that back into the ferry, I think people would be less mad and they'd be a lot happier. I know I'd be a lot happier because that would be money in my pocket too.
Yeah, so that's what's some of the things that have been happening in Honolulu.
Now, do you notice that if there's a lot of corruption in terms of those kinds of things that are tax related and government plan related kind of thing?
Yes, there are, and construction.
And construction, yeah.
So one of the things that I've seen go through with various construction companies is that the unions overcharge what would be like a normal amount for wages, and the contracts are out to get any little fee.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and then some projects require the builders and developers to use contractors that are part of a union. So I think it makes things more difficult because
it's so bureaucratic. You can't get a good pool of talent just coming together.
Yeah, like for example, you have carpenters, drywallers charging $50-something an hour, which I totally understand that you want to pay people a good wage, but sometimes it's just overkill. It's too much.
But it's got to be commensurate to what the job is, and what they're actually doing, not just a flat, I'm going to overcharge you just because I can.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, now we can see Tripper.
Oh yeah, there it is. The pink building there, folks. Which is a very, oh, got blocked again, but that's okay. It will come up again. Yeah. There it is.
So, yeah, that's a military hospital. So, if you think about those big military buff guys going to the pink hospital, it's kind of funny.
Actually, it kind of is. Because Hawaii is, specifically Oahu, a big military town in many ways. Because they have the barracks and the bases scattered all over. I think, what is it, Schofield? Schofield?
Yeah,
Or Schofield?
Schofield.
Schofield.
Got Wheeler. We got what's the other one? We got Kaneohe Marine Corps Base.
They're scattered all over the island for the most part. And I didn't know that Hawaii had such a huge military presence before I moved here, which isn't bad. I think in the past it had been bad for the locals, but they've really reined it in. And you know, people don't think twice about the military guys too much anymore.
Yeah, so they had the military police come and patrol going to town, especially Waikiki.
Oh yeah, and also downtown. Yeah, downtown Chinatown. Yeah.
So you just keep an eye on the military guys. Sometimes when they're blowing steam, they used to go overboard blowing steam, but
oh yeah,
these days it's not too bad. Nah, it's
I would say not bad at all, because they even have the designated military bars.
yeah.
Not that you as a civilian can't go into the military bars, but just they sort of cater more toward the military crowd. And you can go in and have a good time. The soldiers are real nice for the most part. But that's what I noticed. I forgot what was the name of that one particular military pub over in Chinatown that we went to just a while ago. Shoot.
Murphy's?
Was it Murphy's?
No.
It was kind of Irishy looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Irish. Actually, I think it's the one across from Murphy's, like Annual Tools.
Yeah, something like like that. It sounded Irish. It definitely did, and it was Irish in the actual bar itself. And speaking of which, we should do a First Friday run.
Yeah.
I think the audience would really like to see what First Friday is all about. First Friday is obviously, as it entails, the first Friday of every month. A big sort of block party in Chinatown where they have all sorts of different places where you can eat food and get drunk, and there's a line of bars and lots of young people go out. It's a really fun time to be had, and I think it lasts till like what, 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah, like I think 2 a.m.
2 a.m. And they'll definitely have a police presence there, but the police don't do anything except, well, keep the peace for the most part.
And watch out for jaywalking, because the police are strict about jaywalking.
Oh, see, there's a rule I had to learn right now. Not that I jaywalk, I mean.
Well, apparently what used to happen is that many guys used to walk out and start jaywalking drunk and would get hit by cars. So I said, okay, that's it, no more jaywalking.
There we go. But it's only in Chinatown, because you can jaywalk everywhere else in Hawaii.
And Waikiki, no jaywalking in Waikiki.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now that I knew. Because they're just ready to get you in Waikiki.
Yep.
And that's funny enough. I even living on the island, I've not been here that long, but even being here, I actually don't go into Waikiki all that often and don't know that area very well. I actually don't like that area too much, because I think it's congested, it's a little noisy, and I don't think you get the true Hawaiian experience going to Waikiki. That's just my personal experience. Nothing bad about it. I wouldn't tell anybody not to go to Waikiki or anything like that.
I think it's good for like first-time tourists.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. It's a very good way to put it. But I feel like there's so much more to the island than Waikiki that a lot of people just miss out on. Sometimes they get stuck in the tourist trap there, and they don't venture out and see what the natives are doing, or just look at some of the other hiking trails you can go, or some of the other really awesome and amazing stuff that you can do actually on the cheap instead of spending a bunch of money in Waikiki, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that is sort of a saying here. What, do it on the cheap? I like that.
Yeah, Hawaii is expensive, but many of the local people don't do the expensive stuff all that often because people would go broke.
Oh yeah, it's very easy to do too if you don't manage your money very well. Anyway, we're getting gas, so we'll sign off for now, and we'll be right back. Many mahalos.
Mahalo.